let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about. So you shall hear of carnal, bloody, and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments, casual slaughters, of death put on by cunning and forced cause. And in this upshot, purposes mistook, fallen on the inventors' heads. All this can I truly deliver, but let the same be presently performed, even while men's minds are wild, lest more mischance on plots and errors happen.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us be fitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we, with wisest sorrow, think on him together, with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with an auspicious and a dropping eye, with mirth in funeral and with dirge in marriage, in equal scale, weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along, for all our thanks. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit, Laertes. What is it?
My dread lord, your leave and favor to return to France?
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave by laborsome petition, and at last upon his will I have sealed my hard consent. I do beseech you give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet and my son,
a little more than kin and less than kind.
how is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Nay, my lord, I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted color off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lid seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou knowest 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, 'tis common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam. Nay, it is, I know not seems. 'Tis not alone this inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspirations of forced breath, nay, nor the fruitful river in the eye, nor the dejected behavior of the visage, together with all the forms, moods, and shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for their actions a man might play, but I have within which passeth show these but the trappings and suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father, but you should know your father lost a father, That father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow. But to persevere in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. It is unmanly grief. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven. And we pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee, stay with us, go not to Wittenberg.
I will in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart, in grace whereof no jocund health that Denmark drinks today, but the great cannon to the clouds shall tell, and the kings rouse. The heavens shall brew it again, re-speaking earthly thunder. Come, away.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. But the everlasting cannot fix his purpose against self-slaughter. God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie upon it, fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this. But 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not even 2. So excellent a king that was to this, Hyperion to a satyr. So loving to my mother that he would not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly, O heaven and earth. Why, she would hang on him, as if increase in appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month. Let me not think of that frailty, thy name is woman.
Hail, your lordship.
I am glad to see you well. Horatio? Oh, or do I forget myself?
Hey, my good lord, the same, and your poor servants ever.
Sir, my good friend, I would sooner change that name with you, but what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio? Marcellus?
My good lord.
I am glad to see you well. Good evening to you, sir. In faith, what make you from Wittenberg?
A truant disposition, good my lord.
I would not have your enemies say so. Nor will you do mine ear that report to make it truster of your own report against yourself. Now, your affair in Elsinore will teach you to drink deep ere you depart.
I came to see your father's funeral.
I prithee, fellow student, do not mock me. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Oh, thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish the marriage tables. Had I seen my dearest foe in heaven ere I saw this day. My father. Methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I did see him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man. To take him for all in all, I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
Saw? Who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father.
Season your admiration for a while with an attent ear, till I may deliver, upon the witness of my friends, this marvel to you.
Oh, for God's sake, speak!
2 nights together had these two, Marcellus and Bernadette, on their watch in the dead vast in middle of the night, been thus encountered. A figure like your father, armed at point exactly, cap a pie, appears before them, and with solemn march goes slow and stately by them. Thrice he walked by their oppressed and fear-surprised eyes, within his truncheon's length, whilst they, distilled almost to jelly with the act of fear, stand dumb and speak not to him. This to me in dreadful secrecy in part they did, and I with them the third night kept the watch, where, as they had delivered both in time form of the thing, each word made good and true. The apparition comes. I knew your father. These hands were not more like.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watched.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did, but answer made it none. Yet once methought it lifted up its head and did address itself to motion, as if it would speak. But even then the morning cock crew loud, and at the sound it shrank in haste away and vanished from our sight.
This is very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true, and we did think it writ down in our duty to let you know of it.
Oh, indeed. Indeed, but this troubles me. Hold you the watch again tonight.
Aye, my lord.
Armed, say you.
Armed, my lord.
From top to toe.
I, my lord, from head to foot.
And did you not see his face?
Oh yes, my lord, he wore his beaver up.
And looked at frowningly?
A countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
Pale or red?
Nay, very pale.
And fixed his eyes upon you?
Most constantly.
Oh, would that I had been there.
It would have much amazed you.
Very like. Very like. Stayed it long?
Well, one with moderate haste might tell 100.
Oh, no longer.
Not when I saw it.
Oh, and its beard was grizzled, no?
It was that I had seen it in his life, a sable silvered.
I will watch tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my tongue. I pray you all, if you have hitherto concealed this sight, let it remain tenable in your silence still. And whatsoever else should have tonight, give it understanding but no tongue. I will requite your love. So fare you well. Twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you on the platform.
Our duty to your honor.
My love to yours. Farewell. My father's spirit in arms. All is not well. I doubt some foul play. Would that night were come. Till then, rest still, my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm them to men's eyes.
My necessaries are in part. Farewell. And sister, as winds give benefit and convoy is assistance, do not sleep. Let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
As for Hamlet and the trifling of his favor, hold it a fashion and a toy in blood, a violet in the youth of primy nature, not permanent, sweet, not lasting, the perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more but so.
Think it, no more. For nature growing does not grow alone in thews and bulk, but as this temple waxes, the inward voice of mind and soul grows wide with all that. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil or bottle doth besmirch the virtue of his will, but you must fear that his greatness weighed. His will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth. Therefore, on his choice depends the health and safety of this whole state, and therefore must his choice be circumscribed unto the voice and yielding of that body whereof he is the head. Then if he says he loves you, then yield what loss your honor may sustain. If with too prudent ear you list his songs, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmasked opportunity, fear it. Ophelia, fear it. And keep you in the range of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But, good my brother, do not as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny way to heaven, whiles, like a puffed and reckless libertine, himself the primrose path of dalliance treads, and recks not his own reed.
Oh, fear me not, I stay too long. Oh, here my father comes.
Yet here, Laertes. Aboard! Aboard for shame! The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for it. Here, my blessing with thee, and these few precepts in thy memory see thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast and their adoption tribe, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel, but Do not dull thy palm with an entertainment of each new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear it, that the opposed might beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy. For the apparel oft proclaims the man. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses itself in friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true. And as night follows the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell. My blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invites you. Go, your servants tend.
Farewell. And sister, remember well what I've said to you?
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Very well.
What is Ophelia he hath said to you?
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet?
Mary, well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath oft of late given private time to you and you yourself.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection, you speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstances. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Mary, I'll teach you. Think yourself a baby, that you have taken these tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Tender yourself more dearly.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion.
Fashion, go to.
And hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Fringes to catch woodcocks, the better to beguile. This is for all. I would not, in plain terms, have you slander any moment of leisure as to give words or speech to the Lord Hamlet. I charge you, come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
The air bites shrewdly, 'tis very cold.
It is a nipping and an eager air.
What hour now?
I think it lacks of 12.
No, 'tis struck.
Indeed? I heard it not. Then it draws near the season wherein the spirit held its wont to walk. What does this mean, my lord?
The king doth wake tonight and takes his rouse, keeps wassail and swaggering up spring reels. And as he drains his draughts of Rhenish down, the kettle drums and trumpets thus sprout in triumph to his pledge.
Is it a custom?
Aye, marry it is, but to my mind, though I am native here into this manor born, it is a custom more honored in the breach than the observance.
Look, my lord, it comes.
O angels and ministers of grace, defend us. Be thou a spirit of health, or goblin damned. Bring with thee heirs from heaven, or blast from hell, be thou wicked or charitable. Thou comes in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, king, father, O royal Dane, speak!
It beckons you to go away with it, as if it's some apartment to desire to you alone.
Look! With what courteous action it waves you to more removed ground. But do not go with it.
No, by no means.
It will not speak, then I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What be the fear? I do not set my life upon a pin's fee. And for my soul, what be of that, being a thing immortal as itself? No, it waves me forth again. Go on, I'll follow thee!
What if it tempts you toward the flood, my lord? Or to the dreadful summit of the cliff that beetles o'er its base into the sea, and there assume some other horrible form which might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness? Think of it!
It waves me still. Go on! Go on!
My lord, you shall not go!
Unhand me, gentlemen!
Behold, you shall not go!
My faith cries out. Still it calls me forth. Unhand me! By heaven, I'll make a ghost of he that lets me. Say, away! Go on! I'll follow thee!
He waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's follow. It's not fit thus to obey him.
Not after. To what issue will this come?
Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Heaven will correct it.
Nay, let's follow.
Where wilt thou lead me? Speak! I go no further!
Mark me.
I will.
My hour has almost come, when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast and fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are but burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house, I would a tale unfold, whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood. List, list, oh list! If thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge is most foul and unnatural murder.
Murder?
Murder most foul, as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange, and unnatural.
Haste me to know that I with wings as swift as meditation and thoughts of love may sweep to thy revenge.
I find thee apt, and duller shouldst thou be than the fat reed that roots itself with ease on Lethe wharf. Wouldst thou not stir in this? Now, Hamlet, hear. 'Tis given that while sleeping in my orchard a serpent stung me, such that the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know thy noble youth, that serpent that did sting thy father's life, now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul, my uncle!
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit, with traitorous gifts. Oh, wicked wit and gifts that have the power so to seduce. One to his shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air, brief let me be. While sleeping in my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon, upon my secure hour, thy uncle stole with juice of the cursed Hebanon in a vial, and in the porches of my ear did pour its leprous distilment. Thus was I, sleeping by a brother's hand, of life, of crown of queen, at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossom of my sin, unhoused, disappointed, unannaled, no reckoning made, but sent to my death with all my sinful imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible! Oh, horrible, most horrible! If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. Fare thee well at once, for the glowworm shows the matin to be near and begins to pale as ineffectual fire. Adieu. No. Adieu. No. Hamlet, remember me. Oh.
Remember thee! Aye, thou poor ghost, while memory holds a seat in this distracted globe, remember thee! Yea, from the tables of my memory I'll wipe away all trivial thought records, and thy commandment all alone shall sit within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matters, yes, by heaven. Oh, most pernicious woman. Oh, villain. Villain, smiling, damned villain! My tables. 'Tis meet I sit down that one may smile and be a villain. At least I'm sure it may be so in Denmark. So, uncle, there you are. And now for my word. It is adieu. Adieu, remember thee.
My lord! My lord!
I have sworn.
Lord Hamlet!
So be it.
How is my noble lord?
What news, my lord?
Oh, most wonderful!
Oh, my lord, tell it!
No, but you reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven.
Nor I, my lord.
What say you then? Would heart of man be true, but you'll keep it secret?
I, my lord, by heaven.
There is ne'er a villain dwelling in all of Denmark, but he is an errant
There
knave!
needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this.
Aye, you are in the right. And so I see it most fit to shake your hands and part with thee.
These are but wild and whirling words, my
I'm
lord.
sorry they offend, yes, in
There's
faith
no
heartily.
offense,
But
my
there
lord.
is, Horatio, and much offense too. This is an honest ghost, let me tell you. And my good friends, as we are friends, scholars, and soldiers, grant me one poor request.
What is, my lord? We will.
Never make known what you have seen this night.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Nor I, my lord, in faith.
Nay, but swear it.
I, my lord.
Upon my sword.
My lord, we've sworn already.
Indeed, upon my sword, indeed.
Swear!
Never to make known what you have seen this night. Swear upon my sword.
Swear!
Come, gentlemen, and kneel, and lay your hands upon my sword. Never to make known what you have heard this night. Swear it!
Swear!
Wonder strange. Then as a stranger bid it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. So now, as before, never so help you mercy, however strange or odd that I may bear myself, as I perchance hereafter might think it meet to put an antic disposition on, at such times as seeing me, never make note that you know aught of me. Swear it!
Swear!
Rest, perturbed spirit. Come, gentlemen. The time is out of joint. Oh, cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right.
My lord, I have been so frightened.
What in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all unbraced, no hat upon his head, his stockings fouled, ungartered, and down-jived to his ankle, pale as his shirt, his knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous and purport as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er his brow he falls to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so. At last a little shaking of mine arm, and thrice his head thus waving up and down, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. that done, he lets me go. And with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes. For out of doors he went without their helps, and to the last bended their light on me.
Come, go with me. I will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property foredoes itself and leads the will to desperate undertakings more oft than any passion under heaven which does afflict our natures. I am sorry. What, have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my good lord, but as you did command, I did repel his fetters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry that with better heed and judgment I had not quoted him. I feared he did but trifle and meant to wreck thee, but beshrew my jealousy. By heaven, it is as common to our sort to cast beyond ourselves in our opinions as it is to the younger sort to lack discretion. Come, go with me. This must be known, which being kept close might move more grief to hide than hate to utter love. I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that. That do I long to hear.
My liege and madam, to expostulate on what majesty should be, on what duty is, why day is day, night, night, and time is time. We're nothing but to waste day, night, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad, call I it, for to define true madness, what is't but to be nothing else but mad, but let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I've used no art at all, that he is mad, 'tis true, 'tis pity, and pity 'tis true, a foolish figure, but farewell it, for I will use no art. Mad, let us grant him then. And thus it remains that we find the cause of this effect, or say the cause of this defect. For this effect, defective, comes by a cause. Thus it remains, and the remainder thus. Perpend. I have a daughter, while she is mine, who in her duty and obedience mark hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. That's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase, but you shall hear it thus. In her excellent white bosom, these and more...
Came this from Hamlet to her?
Madam, stay a while, I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans. But that I love thee best, oh, most best, believe it. Adieu. Thine evermore, most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him Hamlet. This hath my daughter given me, and more above, his solicitings as they fell out by time, by means, and by place, all given to mine ear.
But how hath she received his love?
Kind of a man do you take me for?
As of a man faithful and honorable.
I would fain prove so, and thus to my daughter did I bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince, out of thy star this must not be. And then I precepts gave her that she should lock herself from his resort, admit no messengers, receive no tokens. That done, she took the fruits of my advice, and he, repulsed a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, thence into a watch, thence into a fast, thence into a weakness, thence into a lightness, and by this declension into the madness wherein now he raves, and all we mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be. Very likely.
Hath there been a time, I'd fain know that I have positively said 'tis so, and it is proved otherwise?
Not that I know.
Take this from this, if this be the case. If circumstances lead me, I will find where truth is hid, though it were hid indeed within the center.
How may we try it further?
You know, sometimes he walks 4 hours together here in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
At such a time, I will loose my daughter to him. Be you and I behind an arras then. Mark the encounter. If you love her not, and be not fallen from his reason because of that, let me be no assistant to his state, but keep a farm and carters.
We will try it.
But look, where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Away! I do beseech you, away. I will forward him presently. Give me leave. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God of mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
And I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord.
Aye, to be an honest man in this world is to be one picked out of 10,000.
That's very true, my lord.
So the sun doth breed maggots in a dead dog's body, being a good kissing carrion. Hast thou a daughter?
I do, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as she may conceive it.
Still harping on my daughter. I'll speak to him again presently. What is to read, my lord?
Words, words, words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Who?
The matter that you read, my lord.
Slanders, sir. For the satirical rogue says here that old men have gray beards, their faces are wrinkled, their eyes purging thick amber and plum tree gum, together with plentiful lack of wit and most weak hams, all of which I would honestly and powerfully and potently believe. Yet I cannot set it down as honesty thus. For you, sir, would, it being as old as I, like a crab go backwards.
Though this be madness, yet there is method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that is out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. My most honorable lord, I will humbly take my leave of you.
Sir, there is nothing that you can take from me that I would not more willingly part withal. Except my life. Except my life. Accept my life!
Fare you well, my lord.
Tedious old fool. I have of late, but wherefore I know not, lost all my mirth, forgone all custom of exercise, and indeed it goes so heavily on my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a stale promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave o'erhanging firmament, this majestical roof, fretted with golden fire. Why, it appears nothing more to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is man. How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty. In form and movement, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of this world, a paragon of animals. But what is this quintessence of dust? Man, what's not me?
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I have news to tell you. When Roscius was an actor in Rome.
The actors are come hither, my lord.
Buzz, buzz.
Upon mine honor.
Well, then came each actor on his ass.
The best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, pastoral comical, historical pastoral, tragical historical, tragical comical, historical pastoral, scene indivisible, or poem unlimited. Seneca cannot be too heavy, nor Plautus too light, for the law of wit and the liberty, these are the only men.
O Jephthah, judge of Israel, I know what treasure thou hadst.
What a treasure had he?
Why, one fair daughter, and no more, the which he loved of passing well.
Still on my daughter.
Am I not in the right, O Jephthah?
My lord, if you call me Jephthah, I have a daughter whom I love passing well.
Nay, that follows not. Welcome, friends, welcome to you all. You are most welcome. Welcome to you. I hope you are well. 'Tis well. And I shall have you say it soon enough. See that these players are well bestowed. Do you hear? Make sure they are well used. For they are the brief and abstract chronicles of the time. They were better after your death to have an ill report than to their ill report while you live.
I will treat them according to their deserts.
Claudius, man, much better. Use every man after his desert, and who shall escape whipping? Use them after your honor and dignity. The less they deserve, the more is in your merit of your bounty. Take them in.
Come, sirs.
We'll see you tomorrow night. We'll have a play. My friend, could you not play the murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lord.
Excellent, excellent. We'll have it tomorrow night. And could you not study some dozen or 16 lines that I set down and insert into it?
Aye, my lord.
Excellent, well, excellent. Well, follow that lord, and I pray you, mock him not. Now I am alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, can force his soul so to his own conceit that from her working all his visage, wand, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit? And all for nothing. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Breaks my pate across, plucks me by the beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie of the throat, as deep as in the lungs. Who does me this? Swoons, for I should take it. But it cannot be that I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter. Ere else I should have fatted all the region kites with this slave's awful. Bloody, bawdy villain. Remorseless, lecherous, treacherous, kindless villain! Ah! Oh. Why, what an ass am I. Oh, it's most brave that I, the son of a dear father murdered, must, like a whore, unpack my heart with words, and fall a-cursing a very drab, scullion. Fire upon it. Oh, about my brains. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have by the very cunning of the scene been struck so to the soul that currently they have proclaimed their malefactions. Father, I observe his looks how, tent him to the quick. If he but blench, I know my course. This spirit I have seen may be the devil, and yea, out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
Madam, it so fell out that certain players were o'erwrought along the way. Of these we told him, and there did seem in him a kind of joy to hear it. They are, as I am told, about the court, and have order this very night to play before him. He did entreat me to beseech your honors to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart, and it doth much content me to hear him so inclined. Sweet Gertrude, leave us too, for we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he, as 'twere by accident, may here affront Ophelia, her father and myself, lawful espials, will so bestow ourselves that, seeing unseen, we may of their encounter frankly judge and gather by him if it be the affliction of his love, or no, that thus he suffers for.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's wildness. So shall I hope your virtues will bring him to his wonted way again, to both your honors.
Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, so please you walk here. Gracious, we will bestow ourselves. Read upon this book, that such a show of exercise will color your loneliness. We are oft to blame in this. 'Tis too oft said that with devotion's visage and pious action we sugar o'er the devil himself. And I hear him coming. Oh, wait.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them, to die to sleep no more, and by asleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to, is a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die to sleep perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes a calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the insolence of office, the law's delay, and the spurns that patient merits of the unworthy takes, all when he himself might his quietus make with the bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather face the ills we have than to fly to those we know not of? Thus conscience does make cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with a pale cast and thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment in this regard their currents turn awry and lose in the name of action. But soft, the fair Ophelia, nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
Nay. I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did. And with them words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these again, for to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Are you honest?
My lord!
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
And if you be honest and fair, your honesty should omit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Aye, truly. For the power of beauty will sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd than the force of honesty translate beauty to his likeness. This was a sometimes paradox, but time gives it proof. I loved you once.
Indeed, my lord. You made me believe
Oh,
so.
thou shouldst not have believed me. For virtue not so inoculate our old stock, but we shall relish in it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
to a nunnery. Wilt thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent, honesty, that can accuse me of such things were better my mother had never borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, but the more offenses that I reckon thoughts to put them in. Imagination give them take more time to act them in. What should such creatures as I do crawling between earth and heaven? We are errant knaves all, believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where is your father?
At home, my lord.
Then let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but his own house. Oh, if thou wilt marry, I give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as pure as ice, as chaste as snow. Thou shalt not escape coming. To a nunnery go, and quickly too. And if thou dost marry a fool. For wise men know well enough what creatures you make of them. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Farewell!
Oh, heavenly powers, restore!
Oh, I know well enough what paintings you make of them. God gives you one face and you make another. You lisp, you jig, you amble, and make your wantonness, your ignorance. I'll have no more of it. It hath made me mad! And thou shalt have no more marriages. No. Those that are married already, all save one shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery, go.
Oh. What a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, scholars, soldiers, eye, tongue, sword, the expectancy and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers quite down. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason like sweet bells jangled, out of tune and harsh. That unmatched form and feature of blown youth blasted with ecstasy, oh, woe is me! To have seen what I have seen, to see what I see.
Love? His affections do not that way tend, nor what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. No, there is something in his soul, o'er which his melancholy sits on brood, and I do doubt the hatch and the disclose will be some danger, which, for to prevent, I have in quick determination thus set it down. He shall with speed to England, for the demand of our neglected tribute, haply the seas and countries different with variable objects shall expel this something settled matter in his heart, whereon his brain still beating puts him thus from fashion of himself. What think you on it?
It shall do well. Yet do I believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. My dear Ophelia, you need not tell us what Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. My lord, do as you see fit. Yet, if it please you, this very evening after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his feelings. Please you, I'll be pleased in the ear of their conference. If he love her not, to England send him, or do whatever you see fit.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Speak this speech, I pray you, trippingly on the tongue as I pronounced it to you, and if you must mouth it as many of your players do, I had as lief the town crier spoke my lines, and do not swipe the air thus with your hands, but use all gently, for in the very torrent, after I say the whirlwind of passion, I must beget and acquire a sort of smoothness that may give it all that same smoothness. Oh, it offends me to the soul to see robustness, tear impatient fellow, tear of passion to tatters, to very rags, and to split the ears of the groundlings, for the most part are capable of nothing but inexplicable dumbshire. Oh, I would have a fellow wit for or doing terminated out here. I pray you avoid it.
I warrant your honor.
Be not too tame either, but put the action to the word to the action. Yes. Or set not the modesty of nature. Right? So over down is from the purpose of playing it, which was, as now is, to hold a mirror up to nature.
I hope we have performed indifferently in this, my lord.
Oh, and let not those that play your clowns speak more than is set down for them. But there be some of them that will themselves laugh, and such a very point of spectators to laugh as well. In the meantime, the important question of the play be then to be considered. 'Tis villainous, and shows a pitiful ambition in the person using it. Go, get thee ready. My lord, be the king ready?
And the queen too, and that presently.
Excellent. Call the players to haste. Oh, what? Ho, Horatio!
Here, sweet prince, at your service.
Thou art e'en as just a man as e'er conversation coped with thought.
Good my lord.
Well, do not think I flatter thee. For nay, what achievement might I hope to gain from thee that hath only thy good spirits to feed and clothe thee? No. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene of it comes very near the circumstance which I have told thee of my father's murder. I prithee, when thou seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe mine uncle. If his occulted guilt do not unkennel in one speech, this is a damned ghost that we have seen. And our imaginations are as foul as Vulcan's smithy. Take heedful note. I will myself rivet mine eyes to his face, and in our judgments join in censure of his seeming.
Well, my lord, if he steal aught whilst this play is playing and escape detecting, I will pay the theft.
The players are ready. I must be idle and get our place.
How fares our cousin, Hamlet?
Excellent in faith. I am of the chameleon. I eat the air, promise them. You cannot be capable so.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
Nor are they mine neither. My good lord, played you not in the university, you say?
That I did, my lord, and was accounted a good actor.
Oh, and what part did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
Oh, why, what a brute part to kill so capital a calf. Be the players ready.
Stay at your patience.
Come hither, dear Hamlet, sit by me.
Nay, here is a metal more attractive. Lady, may I lay in your lap?
No, my lord.
Why, I meant my head in your lap.
I, my lord?
Did you think I meant, country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
It is a very good thought to lie between maids' legs.
What is, my lord?
Nothing.
You are merry, my lord.
Who, I?
I, my lord.
Why would a man not be merry? Why, look how cheerful the queen is, and my father died within these 2 hours.
Nay. 'Tis twice 2 months, my lord.
By heavens, that long. 2 months gone and not forgotten. Why, a great man might hope his memory outlive his year by half a year.
For our tragedy, here stooping for your clemency, we beg your hearing patiently.
this a prologue or the posy of a ring?
Indeed, 'tis brief, my son.
As women's love.
'Tis 30 years since Hymen did our hands unite commutual in most sacred bands.
So many journeys may the sun and moon make us again counter ere love be done.
But if I die before a new sunshine, you might another lover soon entwine.
Nay, should you die, I should confound the rest. Such love must needs be treason in my breast. Oh, in second husband, let me be accursed. Not wed the second, but who killed the first.
Wormwood, wormwood.
I do believe you think what now you speak. For what we do determine oft we break. This world is not for I, nor 'tis not strange, that even our love should with our fortunes change. Oh.
Which you should break now.
Both here and hence pursue me lasting strife. Ever once a widow, ever I a wife.
Madam, what think you of this play?
The lady protests too much, methinks.
She'll keep her word.
Have you heard the argument? Is there no offense in it?
Nay, no offense. Jest, poison in jest. There's no offense to it.
What do you call the play?
The Mousetrap. 'Tis a knavish piece of work, but what of that to your majesty and we that have free souls? Here is the nephew to the king, one Lucianus.
You're as good as a chorus, cousin.
And this here is Gonzaga. Watch how his nephew takes his life and then his bride. Oh.
Give me some light. Away!
My lord, give me
Why?
the
Not frightened by false smiles. If here goes sleep, the heart ungallant play. Some watch, some weep, so goes the world away. Horatio, didst thou perceive?
I did very well, my lord.
Take this ghost word for 1,000 pounds on the talk of murder.
Very well, my lord.
We are errant knaves all. Believe none of us. Get thee to a nunnery. Farewell. Come, come, some music! Bring on the recorders! The king does not like this comedy. He shall like a burning. Come, let the music play. Come! Oh, God bless you.
My lord, the queen would speak with you, and presently.
Then I shall speak with her by and by.
I will say so.
By and by is easily said. Frank, meet me. Tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Oh, I could drink hot blood and do such bitter business as a day would quake to look on it. But soft, not to my mother. O heart, lose not thy nature. Let not the soul of Nero enter in my bosom. Be cruel, not unnatural. Speak daggers, but use none. My tongue and soul in this be hypocrites. And however my words be shent, let not them lose their seals. My soul consent.
I like him not, nor stands it safe with us to let his madness range. I, your commission, will forthwith dispatch, and he to England shall along with you. The terms of our estate may not endure hazard so dangerous as to hourly grow out of his lunacies.
My lord, he's going to his mother's closet. Behind the arras, I'll convey myself to hear the matter, and warrant she'll tax him home. I'll come to you ere you go to bed and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. My offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon it, a brother's murder. Pray, can I not? Though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. And like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause where I shall first begin, and both neglect. But what if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? Whereto serves mercy but to confront the visage of offense? And what's in prayer but this twofold force, to be forestalled ere we come to fall, or pardoned being down? Then I'll look up. My fault is past. But what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder? That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense. In the corrupted currents of this world, offense's gilded hand may shove by justice. Oft 'tis seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law. But 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature, and we ourselves compelled even to the teeth and forehead of our faults to give in evidence. What then? What rests? Try what repentance can? What can it not yet? What can it when one cannot repent? Oh, wretched state, bosom black as death, oh, limed souled, struggling to be free, art more engaged. Help! Angels! Make essay. Bow stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
Now will I do it, Pat. Now he is praying. And now I'll do it! Now will I do it, Pat. And now he is praying. And now I'll do it! And then he goes to heaven. And then I am revenged! Oh, that would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that I do send this same villain to heaven. 'Tis a hire and salary, not revenge. He took my father grossly, full of bread, with all his crimes broad blown, as flush as May. And where his audit stands, who knows save heaven? Yet in the circumstance and course of thought, it is heavy with him. And am I then revenged to send him in the purging of his sins, when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No. Up, sword, and no more horrid head. when he is drunk, asleep, or in a rage, or in the incestuous pleasures of his sheets. At gaming, swearing, or some other act that hath no hint of salvation in it. Trip him then, that his heels may kick at heaven, though his soul be as black and damned as hell whereto it goes. My mother stays. This physic but prolongs thy weary days.
My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
He will come straight away. Look you, lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that you have screened and stood between much heat and him. Oh, sconce me even here. I pray you be round with him.
I warned you, fear me not, withdraw. I hear him coming.
How now, mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
What? How now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
No, by the root now, so you are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay then, I'll set those to you that can speak.
Oh, come, mother, and set you down, and I shall set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me? Help!
How now? A rat? Dead, or a ducat? Stabbed!
No! Me, what hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Was it the king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this!
Bloody deed, almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king!
Aye, lady, 'twas my word. Oh, thou wretched, rash, intruding fool. Farewell. I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune. Thou findest to be too busy is some danger. Leave the wringing of your hands, good mother. Peace. And set you down a while, and let me wring your heart, or so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff.
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue and were so rude against me?
An act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, and makes marriage vows as false as dicer's oaths.
I mean, what act that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Look upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. Look how the grace did set upon his brow, a combination and a form, indeed, where every god does seem to set his seal. This was your husband. And look what follows here is your husband, like a mildewed ear blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you go from this fair mountain to feed and batten on where, oh, have you eyes? You cannot call it love. For at your age, the heyday of the blood is tame. It's humble and waits upon the judgment. And what judgment could go from this to this? Eyes without feeling, feeling without sight. Oh, shame, have you no blush?
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. These words, thou turnest mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and green and spots as would not leave
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in the corruption, hunting, and making love over the nasty stuff.
Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter in thine ears. No more, sweet.
A villain and a murderer, a slave that is not 1/20th part his precedent lord, a vice of kings, a cutpurse to the throne and empire, who from the shelf stole the precious titan and put it in his pocket, a king of shreds and button. Save me, and hover o'er me with your wings, O heavenly guards. What's thou figure?
Alas, he is mad.
Have you not come your tardy son to chide that lapsed in time and passion? Let's go by the important act of your dread command. Oh, say!
Do not forget The reason for this visitation is to but whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting spirit. Speak to her, Hamlet.
Whereon do you look?
On him! On him! Look how pale he glares!
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all. Yet all it is I see.
Nor do you nothing here?
No. Nothing but ourselves.
Why, there he goes, in his habit of my father as he lived.
This the very coinage of your brain.
Mother, lay not that flattering unction on your soul that not your trespass but my madness speaks. Confess yourself to heaven. Repent the past. Avoid what is to come. Spread not the compost on the weeds to make them ranker.
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Then throw away the worser part of it, and live the pure with the other half. Good night, mother. Return not to my uncles, but assume a virtue, if you have none. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next absence, the next more easy. Once more, good night. And if thou desirest to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For this same Lord I do repent. But heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with him, and him with me. I will bestow him, and answer well the death I gave him. So again, good night. I am cruel only to be kind. Thus bad begins, and worse remains behind.
What shall I do?
Not this. By no means do I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed. Let him call you his mouse, and pinch wanton on your cheeks. And let him for a pair of reechy kisses, or the paddling on your neck with his damned fingers, make you to revel all this matter out. That essentially I am not in madness, but mad in craft.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
Good night, mother. Indeed, this same counselor is most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish, prating knave. Come, sir, away with you. Mother, good night.
Gertrude! Where is your son?
Ah, my good lord, what have I seen tonight?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad! As the sea and wind when both contend which is the mightier. In his lawless fit, behind the arras, hearing something stir, whips out his rapier, cries, a rat! And in this brainish apprehension, kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, heavy deed. It had been so with us, had we been there. Guard! Guard! His liberty is full of threats to all, to you, yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? Where is he gone?
To draw apart the body he had killed, o'er whom his very madness, like some ore among a mineral of metal's base, shows itself pure. He weeps for what is done.
Gertrude, come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence. And this vile deed we must, with all our majesty and skill, both countenance and excuse. Friends, go join you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go, seek him out. Speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel. I pray you haste in this. Come, Gertrude, we'll call up our wisest friends. Let them know both what we mean to do and what's untimely done. Come away! My soul is full of discord and dismay. I am sent to seek him and to find the body. How dangerous is it that this man goes loose? Yet must we not put the strong law on him? He's loved of the distracted multitude who like not in their judgment but their eyes. Where 'tis so the offender's scourge is weighed, but never the offense. To bear all smooth and even, this sudden sending him away must seem deliberate pause. Diseases desperate grown by desperate appliance are relieved or not at all. Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper? Where?
Oh, not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are eaten at him.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Send thither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him out the other place yourself. But indeed, if you find him not within the next month, you shall notice him as you climb the stairs to the lobby.
Go, seek him there.
He shall wait for you to come.
Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety, which we do tender as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself. The bark is ready, and the wind at help. The associates tend, and everything is bent for England.
For England?
I, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it, if thou knewst our purposes.
I see a cherub that sees them well enough. Come, for England. Goodbye, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Father and mother are man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh, and so I say, my mother. Come, for England.
England, if my love thou holdst up, as my great power thereof may give thee sense, since thy free arm pays homage to us, thou mayst not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full, by letters congruing to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England. For like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me. Till I know 'tis done, I wear my haps. My joys were ne'er begun.
I will not speak with her.
She is importunate, indeed distract. Her mood will needs be pitied.
What would she have?
Well, she speaks much of her father, says there's tricks in the world, and hems and beats her heart, spurns enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet the ill-shaped youth of it doth bring the hearers to collection. They aim at it and botch up the words to fit their own thoughts, with which her winks and her nods and her gestures would lead one to believe that there might be thought, although nothing sure, yet much unhappily. 'Twere good that she were spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures into ill-breeding minds.
Let her come in. To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each prologue seems toy to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy as guilt, it spills itself in fearing to be spilt.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
Oh, now, Ophelia.
How should I your true love know from another one by his cockle hat and staff and his sandal shoon?
Alas, sweet lady, what imports
Say
this
you?
song?
Nay, pray you mark. He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his head a grass-green turf, at his heels a stone.
Nay, but Ophelia.
Pray you mark! White his shroud as the mountain snow.
Alas, my lord, look on this.
Larded with sweet flowers, which bewept to the grave did not go, with true love showers.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God healed you. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Conceit upon her father.
Pray you, let's have no more words of this. But when they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning bedtime, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine. Then up he rose and donned his clothes and ducked the chamber door, let in the maid that out a maid never departed more.
Pretty Ophelia.
Indeed. La. Without an oath. I'll make an end on't. By treason, by St. Charity, alack and fie for shame. Young men will do it if they come to it by cock. They are to blame. Whose she before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. So would I have done by yonder sun, and thou hast not come to my bed.
How long hath she been thus?
I hope all will be well, but I cannot choose but weep to think they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it! And so, I thank you for your counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night.
Follow her close. Give her good watch. I pray you. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's love. Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First, her father slain. Next, your son gone, and he most violent author of his own just remove. The people muddied, thick and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers for good Polonius' death. And we have done but greenly in hugger-mugger to inter him. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment, without the which we are pictures or mere beasts. Last, and as much containing as all these, her brother is in secret come from France. He feeds on his wonder, keeps himself in clouds, wants not buzzers to infect his ear with pestilent speeches of his father's death. Wherein necessity of matter beggared will nothing stick our person to arraign in ear and ear. My dear Gertrude, this, like to a murder in peace, gives me superfluous death.
Claudius!
Black, what noise is this?
Oh, the vile king! Give me my father!
Calmly, good Laertes.
Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. There's such divinity doth hedge a king that treason can but peep to what it would, acts little of his will. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed. Let him go. Gertrude, speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him!
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be trifled with. To hell, allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation! And to this point I stand, that I give both worlds to negligence. Let come what comes, only I'll be most thoroughly revenged for my father!
Who shall stay you?
My will, not all the world's. And for my means I'll husband them so well they shall go far with little.
Good Laertes, If you desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death, is writ in your revenge that swoop stake you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them, then? Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensible in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment pierce as day does to your eye.
Now what noise is this? Oh, heat. I have my brains, tears 7 times salt. Do not the sense of virtue of mine eye. By heaven, thy manner shall be paid by weight till us guilt in the beam. Oh, Rose of May, sweet maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia.
And if they bore him bare-faced on the bier, hey-nanny, and in his grave rained many a tear. Fare you well, my dove.
If thou hast thy wits and didst persuade revenge, it could not move dozens.
And you must sing a down, and you must call him a downa. Oh, how the wheel becomes it! It is the false steward that stole his master's daughter.
There's nothing's more than matter.
There's rosemary. That's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. And there's pansies. That's for thoughts.
A document in madness?
There's fennel for you! And columbines. There's a roof for you. And here's some for me. We might call it Herb Grace's Sundays. Oh, you must wear your rue with the difference. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end, for bonny sweet Robin is all my joy.
Thoughts and affliction, passion, hell itself. She turns to favor and to prettiness.
And will he not come again? And will he not come again? No, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He never will come again. His beard was white as snow. Flaxen was his poll. He is gone! He is gone! And we cast away mourn! God have mercy on his soul. And of all Christian souls, pray God be with ye! I don't believe in love. Like that anyway. Kind that comes along once and just saves the day. I think of it more like the rocks the waves chip away as they become the sand. And I'd have told you that if you'd have asked me. We might have saved ourselves the told you that if you'd have asked me on that day you did not return.
Ophelia, come back! Do you see this? Oh, God.
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me. If by direct or by collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give, our life, our crown, and all that we can ours to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us, and we shall jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, no trophy, sword, nor hatchment over his bones, no noble rite, no formal ostentation. Cry to be heard, as 'twere from heaven to earth that I were to call into question.
So you shall, and where the offense is, let the great axe follow. I pray you, go with me. Now must your conscience my acquaintance see, and you must put me in your heart for friend, since you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he which hath your noble father slain pursued my life.
This well appears, but tell me why you proceeded not against these feats, so crimeful and so capital in nature, as by your safety, wisdom, and all things else. Well, you are mainly stirred up.
Oh, for two special reasons, which may to you perhaps seem much unsinewed, but yet to me they are strong. The queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks. My virtue or my plague, be it either which, she's so conjunctive to my life and soul, that as the star moves not but in his sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive, why to a public account I might not go, is the great love the general gender bear him, who, dipping all his faults in their affection, would, like a spring that turneth wood to stone, convert his gyves to graces, so that my arrows, too slightly timbered for so loud a wind, would have reverted to my bow again, and not where I had aimed them.
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate turns, whose worth, if praise may go back against a challenger on mount for all the age for her perfections, but my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we could let our beard be shook with danger and think it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. I loved your father, and we love ourselves, and that, I hope, will teach you to imagine. How now? What news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. This one for your majesty, this one for the queen.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
The sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us! High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet.
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character, naked. And in a postscript here he says, alone. Can you advise me?
I am lost in my lord, but let him come. Oh, it warms the very sickness of my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth, thus didst thou.
Laertes, was your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think you did not love your father, but that I see love is begun by time, and that I know, in passages of proof, time qualifies the spark and fire of it. There lives within the very flame of love a kind of wick or snuff that will abate it. And nothing is at a like goodness still, for goodness, growing to a pleurisy, dies in his own too much. That we would do, we should do when we would. For this would changes and hath abatements and delays as many as there are tongues, our hands, our accidents. And then this should is like a spendthrift sigh, hurts by easy. But to the quick of the also, Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself your father's son indeed more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sexualize. Revenge should have no bounds. But, good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet, returned, shall know you are come home, will you? We'll put on those shall praise your excellence, and set a double varnish on the fame the Frenchman gave you, bring you in fine together, and wager on your heads. He, being remiss, most generous, and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a passive practice, requite him for your father.
I will do it. And for that purpose, I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank so mortal, but dip a knife in it. Where it draws blood, no cataplasm so rare, collected from all simples that have virtue from under the moon, may save the thing from death that is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with this contagion, that if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this. Weigh what convenience both of time and means may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, and that our drift look through our bad performance, 'twere better not essayed. Therefore, this project should have a back or second that might hold if this should blast in proof. Soft, let me see. It will make a solemn wager on your cunning. I had. When in your motion you are hot and dry, as make your bouts, yes, violence to that end, and that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if he by chance escape your venomed stomach, our purpose may hold there. How now, sweet queen?
One woe doth tread upon another's heel, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Where?
There is a willow. Grows a slanted brook that shows his hoar leaves in a glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands did she come, of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples that liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs, her coronet weeds clambering to hang, an envious sliver broke. When down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook, her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like, a while they bore her up. But long it could not be till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, then, she is drowned?
Drowned. Drowned.
Too much water hast thou poured, Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. Yet it is a trick. Nature her custom holds, let shame say what it will. When these are gone, the woman will be out. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this folly doubts it.
Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. now fear I this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
Come to thy praise no more about it, for your dull ass will not mend his pace with beating. And when you are asked this question next, say, a grave maker of the houses he builds lasts till doomsday. Oh, get thee to yarn, fetch me a stoup of liquor. In youth, when I did love, methought was very sweet. To contract of the time for all my behove, methought there was nothing meet.
Does this fellow have so little feeling of his employment that he does sing at grave making?
Custom hath made it him a property of easiness.
E'en so, the hand of little employment hath the daintier sense.
But age with his stealing step hath clawed me in his clutch, and shipped me into the earth as if I had never been such.
Skull had a tongue and could sing once. And how this knave jousted about as if it were Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. Why, this might be the pate of a politician that this ass now o'erreaches, one that would circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Oh, or that of a courtier that did say, good evening, my sweet lord, or how dost thou, my lord? This might be a courtier that did ask my lord such a one's horse, when he did mean to plead for it, might it not?
Aye, my lord.
A pickaxe and a spade for and a shrouding sheet, a pit of clay for to be made, as though there was nothing meet.
I will speak to this gentleman. Sirrah, whose grave is this?
Mine, sir. Oh, a pit of clay for to be made, as though there was nothing meet.
I think it be thine, sir, for thou liest in it.
Oh, thou liest out on it, and therefore it is not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, and yet it is mine.
Oh, thou dost lie in it, to be in it, and say it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not the quick, therefore thou liest.
Oh, that is a quick lie, and will away again, from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman, then?
For none neither.
Who's to be buried in it?
Alas, sir, one who was a woman, but rest her soul, she's dead.
Oh, absolute this knave is. We must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. By the Lord, Horatio, I have noticed the age has become so picked that the toe of the peasant comes this close to the heel of the courtier that he gasps his kibe. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Of all the days in the year, I came to it that same day that old King Hamlet o'ercame Fortinbras.
And how long since then?
Well, cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was that same day that young Hamlet was born. He that is mad and sent off to England.
And why was he sent to England?
Well, because he is mad. He will recover his wits there, or if not, it is no great matter there.
Why?
Well, 'twill not be seen in him there. There! Men are as mad as he!
And, why went he mad?
Very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
By eating and losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Here in Denmark! I have been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long may a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Well, if he be not rotten before he is dead, as many of your pocky courses nowadays will scarce hold the leg out, he will last you 8 years or 9 years. A tanner will last you 9 years.
Why he more than another?
Why, his hide is so tan with his trade that he keeps out water. And water is a great decayer of your horse and dead body. Here is a skull, sir, that hath lain in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
Pox for a mad fellow who was it. But this same skull, sir, was Yorick, the king's jester.
With this?
In that.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest and most excellent fancy. Why, he bore me on his back 1,000 times. And now, how abhorred in my imagination it is, my gorge rims at it. Here lie those lips that I kissed I know not how often. No jibes now, no gambles, no songs of merriment, or flashes on what to set a table on a roar. Oh, none now to mock your own grinning. Quite a chap fallen. Now get you to my lady's chamber. Tell her, let her paint it an inch thick. Let her see what follows. Make her laugh at it. I prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander lied of this fashion in the earth?
Being so?
Think he, smelled as such?
Being so, my lord.
For what base uses we return? Why might not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander to leave me stopping up a bung? Hold.
'Twere to consider too curiously to consider so.
Oh, nay, in faith, not a judge, but to follow thither in all honesty, as in likelihood. Alexander died. Alexander was buried. Alexander returneth to dust. Well, dust is earth, and of earth we get loam. And of that loam work before he was converted, might we not stuff up the hole of a beer barrel? Oh, imperious Caesar, dead and here to claim, might patch a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, that earth that held the world in awe might patch a wall to expel a winter's flaw. Oh, who comes here? Is the king, the queen, and the courtiers. As they follow with such human rights. I doth token that the course did take it so far. Come, couch a while, and fun.
What ceremony else? What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warranties. Her death was doubtful, and yet that great command o'ersways the order, she should in ground unsanctified have lodged until the last trumpet. For charitable prayers, shards, flints, and pebbles should be thrown upon her. Yet here she is allowed in her virgin krantz, her maid instruments, and the bringing home of bell and burial.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We shall profane the service of the dead to sing her requiem and such rest to her as to peace parted souls.
Lay her in the earth, and from her pale and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be, while thou liest howling.
The fair Ophelia.
Sweets to the sweet. Farewell. I hope thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave.
Oh, treble woe, fallen 10 times treble, and the cursed head is wicked deed, the most ingenious sense. Deprived me of. Oh. Hold off the earth a while, till I once more have her in my arms.
Whoa! What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis, whose face and sorrow like wandering stars conjures up wander-wounded tears? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
That devil thing I thought!
I will fight him on the steams of my eyelids no longer wag.
Oh, my son, what theme?
I loved her! 40,000 brothers and all their quantity of love could not make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
He is mad, Laertes.
For the love of God, forbear.
Oh, I can rant as well as thou.
This is mere madness.
What say you? What is the reason that you treat me thus? I loved you ever. There's nothing. Let Hercules do as he may. The calf from you and the dog will have his day.
I pray you, good Horatio, wait upon him. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son! His grave shall have a living monument. An hour of silence shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience, our proceeding be.
So much for this, sir. Now shall you see thither, but do you remember all the circumstance?
Remember, my lord.
Sir, I had within my heart a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. Up from my cabin, sea gown scarfed about me, in the dark groped I to find them out, had my desire. Fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room again, where I, fear making so bold, unsealed the Grand Commission, where I found Horatio, O royal knavery, and exact command, larded among several sorts of reasons supporting England's health and Denmark's too, my head be struck off.
Is it possible?
I have the commission here. Read it at your leisure. But wilt thou know how I do proceed?
I beseech you.
Being thus benetted, round with villainies, ere I could make a prologue to my brains, they had begun to play. I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair. I held it once as our status due, and wilt thou know to what effect I wrote?
Aye, my lord.
An earnest conjuration from the king. As England was his faithful tributary, as love between them like a palm did flourish, as peace should stiff for wheat and garland, where that on the view and knowing of its contents, the bearer should be put to sudden death, no shriving time allowed.
But how was this sealed?
I had my father's signet in my purse, the very model of the Danish seal. Folded I the writ up in form of the other, subscribed it, made the impression, placed it safely, the changeling never known. And what the secret to this thou knowest already.
So the men go too?
Why, man, they did make love to their commission. They are not near my conscience. Their defeat does by their own insinuation grow. 'Tis dangerous when baser nature comes between the past and fell insensate points of mighty opposites.
What a king is this?
Does it not, thinkest thou, stand me now upon he that had killed my king and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life, and with such cozenage, is it not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm? And is it not to be damned to let this canker of our nature grow in further evil?
It must be shortly known to him from England what is the issue of the business there.
It will be short. The interim is mine. And a man's life is not to say one. But, Horatio, I am very sorry that to Laertes I forgot myself. For in the image of my cause I see the portraiture of his. I'll court his favors. But sure, the bravery of his grief did set me into a towering passion.
Peace! Who comes here?
Your lordship is very welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you. Well, sir.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I wish to put upon you a message from his majesty.
I will receive it with all diligence of spirit.
You are not ignorant.
much approve it. Well, sir.
You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is.
I'll not confess that lest I be compared to him in excellence. But no man is to know himself.
I mean, sir, for his weapons. But in the imputation laid upon them by him, his needs are unfellow.
What is his weapon?
Oh, a rapier dagger.
2 weapons, but well.
The king, sir, hath wagered 6 bartering horses, against which impone, I believe, 6 French rapiers, pawners, girdles, hammers, and so.
6 Barbary horses. Tis the French bet against the Danish. But why say you impone, sir?
The king, sir, hath laid that in a dozen passes he shall not exceed 3 hits. And if your lordship should vouchsafe the answer, it would go directly to trial.
And if I answer no?
My lord, your opposition in person in trial?
I will walk the halls if it please his majesty. 'Tis the very breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be drawn, the gentleman willing. Each shall have his purpose. I shall win as I can. And if I don't, I shall gain nothing but the shame and the few odd hits.
Shall I redeliver you so?
To what effect your flourish may.
Mighty be second that to you, my lord.
Yours.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. As since he has been in France, I have been in continual practice. I may win the odds. But what ills all about my heart? What does matter?
Nay, good my lord.
'Tis nothing. It's a sort of gain-giving that might trouble a woman.
Nay, my lord, if your heart is like anything, obey it. I will forestall thy repair hither, and say you are not well.
Nay, not a whit. We defy augury. There is a special fall in the providence of a sparrow. If it be now, it will not come. If it will not come, it will be now. If it be not to come yet, it will be now. The readiness is all. For what a man leaves off behind, what he leaves betimes. Let be.
Come, Hamlet, come, and take this hand from me.
Sir, I beg your pardon, for I have done you wrong. But pardon it as you are a gentleman. Free me in your most generous thoughts that I have shot mine arrow o'er the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge. But in my terms of honor, I stand aloof and will no reconcilement. Yet I do receive your offered love like love, and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Come, bring the foils.
One for me.
I shall be your foil, Laertes, for in mine ignorance your skill shall, like the star in the darkest night, shine fiery off indeed.
You mock me, lord.
Nay, by this hand.
Give them the foils, Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager?
Aye, my lord. Thou hast put the odds on the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both, but since he is bettered, we have, therefore, odds.
This one is too heavy. Give me another.
Let me see. I like this one well. I'll have these foils all a length.
Aye, my lord.
Set me the strip of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, let all the battlements their ordnance fire. The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath. And in the cup, a union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Give me the cup. And let the kettle to the trumpet speak, the trumpet to the cannoneer without, the cannons to the heavens to earth. Now the king dunks to Hamlet. Come, begin. And you, the judge, bear a wary eye.
Come, sir.
Come, Lord.
What?
No.
Judgment!
A palpable hit. How now again?
Stay! Give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I shall play this bout first. Set it by a while. Come, sir.
Another hit! What say you?
A touch, and you confess.
None shall win.
He's fat and scant of breath. Come, Hamlet, take my napkin. Rub that grass. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Gertrude, do not drink!
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
Set it by a while, madam. I dare not.
Come, let me wipe thy face.
My lord, I'll hit him now.
I do not think it.
Yet 'tis almost against my conscience.
Come, Laertes, for a third, and I pray you, pass with your best violence. I am afraid you make a wanton of me.
Oh, say you so.
Come on!
Depart them, they are insane!
Come! Again!
How is it, my lord?
How is Laertes? I am just slain with mine own treachery.
How does the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
No! The drink! The drink! Oh, my dear Hamlet, the drink! The drink! I am poisoned!
Oh, villainy. Shut the doors. Oh, treachery, no one shall leave!
It is here. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee there is not half an hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and unbettered. The foul practice has turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's been poisoned. I can no more. The king's to blame.
The point in venom too. Come, venom, to thy work.
Treason! Treason! Oh, yet defend me. Friends, I am but hurt.
Thou murderous, damned Dane! Drink off thy poison. There's thy union. Go with my mother.
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon thee, nor thine on me.
May heaven free thee of it. I follow thee. Horatio, I am dead. Thou wretched queen, adieu. You, that are but pale and tremble at this chance, that are but mutes or audience to this act. But this foul Sergeant Death is swift in his arrest. Oh, I would tell you, but let it be. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I am more antique Roman than Dane. Here's yet some liquor left.
Nay, as thou art a man. No, let it be. Horatio, what a wounded name. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, I have sent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain. Tell my story. The rest is silence.
Thou cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince. And flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. What is it you will see? If it be aught of woe or wonder, cease your search. Give order that these bodies high on stage be placed in view. And let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about. So you shall hear of carnal, bloody and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments, casual slaughters, of deaths put on by cunning and forced cause. And in this upshot purposes mistook, fallen on the inventors' heads. All this can I truly deliver, but let the same be presently performed, even while men's minds are wild, as more mischance on plots and errors happen. But look, the dawn in russet mantle clad,